Hello. Welcome in again today. I was working on cleaning up my desk here while the countdown was happening because I was like, there's a lot everywhere. I didn't get all of that done, but I managed to get a good deal of it done. It's been so long since I've seen you. You too, MCL Blue. I think I saw you, what was it? Breakfast stream? I think so. We're going to be painting today, this afternoon. We're going to repaint one of my college drawings, and it's in the stack somewhere, so that's why I have this sitting here. But I really have a huge mess on my desk. Like, this camera does not move easy, but I have, those are markers, all of these brushes that need to get put away. And I sort of keep them sorted by size. Sort of. That's a pencil. Yeah, these could all go here and live in this container. So like they're by size, but also they're by handle length, because I have a short handle length and a long handle length. And these ones can live in that box. Pencil, markers, circle tracer. Also, we had a raid from Liam right as I ended last night for Dark Cloud. Oh, I didn't click on the right thing. Let's go click over there. So I appreciate that, but I was, I think, raiding, who did I raid last night? I raided Brett last night, so that was right as I was ending and leaving. How was breakfast stream? Breakfast stream was good. It was a quiet little breakfast stream with Kepler being a jerk, and he just walked in here. Where did he go? Maybe he left already. How was Kep stream? It sure was Kep stream. Neutral color, another neutral color. Primaries, orange. Oh, there he is. Now he's leaving. Okay. I just fed him, so he should be fine now. Phthalo, ultramarine. I figured I'd leave this song with lyrics on while I did this. There's another paint marker. All right, primaries are here. I already sprayed down my palette because it's full of the Pyrrole I was using on the last painting. All right, this is better. I can deal with this. I should stack these though. Oh wait, I found two more. Kepi still thinks the PS4 is Kep spot. It's warm. It's a platform. He likes that. I should not use this color today because this color takes forever to dry and we're going to be doing small painting. Much better. All right. Pokemon Princess says warm platform, basically Kepi's. Yeah. Like, that's not his normal spot to go lay down. It's really only the I know I shouldn't be here because you always give me attention when I go over here spot. I'm trying to make sure this isn't too terrible of a noise today. I sprayed it down before the timer was up, but it was not ready to scrape until now. So I'm trying not to squeak it and make it make the terrible noise. Katsuki Randy says, when Steven said, we're just letting Kepler do what he wants, Kep really wanted to see how far he can push that. He really has been. And like I said the other day on one of the streams, He's recognized that because he will just go into a room and look at you and go, meow. And then it's like, okay, time to follow you and figure out what it is you want. Do you want a drink? Do you want scoop? And the way you figure that out is you just go stand in a spot and then see where he walks to. So like I'll stand between the auto feeder and the bathroom. And if he walks towards me, like towards the bathroom, I know he wants a drink. But if he goes and stands at the dish, he wants food. All right, we have clean palette ready for paint. I already got water. I have water for myself. I have water in spray bottle. We have a 14-month resub from Andrew in the kitchen with the grapes emote. Thank you, Andrew. For a second I panicked because I thought this was the water bottle with the bite valve and not the plastic valve. All right, we are gonna be repainting one of my college drawings. Water and spray bottle for Kepi if he's a jerk. That has been a technique we've used in the past, but now we don't want to cause Kepi any problems. So we, instead of being like angry and really yelling at him when he does bad things, now it's just like, don't. You poor thing, just please don't. I don't want to yell at you. Oh, it's the entertainer. A gentle redirection, yeah. This nail sticks out a lot. And by nail, I mean staple. And this canvas is a little loose. So I'm gonna do this on an 8x10. Normally I do 1824 canvases. Those are the full-size ones that I tend to do. And then lately I've been doing the 1824s. Sorry, 1114s. That's what I did the Simier painting on. And this is an 8x10, so this is smaller. But this is kind of a study. So we looked at these on Friday. Oh no, don't, oh, shoot. This is not the one I'm doing today. I just didn't need that to fall and it did. How about you stay here and don't fall over. There we go. Now, if I had thought ahead, I would have put the photo of this on my iPad, but I didn't. Now I just gotta find the right one. Not that one. I think it's towards the back. Hopefully. No. Yeah, it is. This is the one I'm doing. Come here. Suppose I could set it right side up. Stay. So I'm gonna repaint this in paint. Don't fall over. And you can't really see the moon because it's cut off up here. But there's a moon. This is probably one of my more favorite ones I did when I took drawing. So we're gonna do a little study of this. And the other thing I would have thought ahead and done is I would have grabbed sewing pins. I know where they are in my house, and I would have just pinned it right here so I had it. That was my backup, and then I did neither thing. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to set this over, no, also a bad idea. There. Okay, I might go get pins because then this will be out of my way and I won't destroy it. Stay there. 2 seconds. Let me grab pins out of my office. Now, how does this open? There we go. One of the things we did in college is they had like bulletin boards for a wall, and you had to pin your work to it and then critique it with everyone else. So everyone would pin their work up, and then you would talk about it. Yeah, that works. No, okay, I have to pin it actually. Shoot. I have half of mine just to tape it. I did it. Perfect. Wonderful. Success. That's what I'm gonna do. We're going to paint that. I'm very satisfied that that worked well. Do I have a special enjoyment for painting moons? Yes. Moons are fun to paint. We're gonna do a little 8x10. And the ratio may not be right. I didn't think about that, but we're gonna do the best we can. So this is about half. So we are just going to mark half. And I'm not going to paint the horizon, like I'm not going to start exactly here, but I need to know about where that is to make sure I get the right colors where I want. So we're going to go from a light blue to this lighter ultramarine and do that gradient. And then we're going to do these clouds here where it's darker before we get to the water. So we're going to kind of start with that. And I said ultramarine, and ultramarine blue is the right call here. But it's basically just the two colors. I'm not trying to make it one for one. I'm just trying to give the same impression but in acrylic. And we're just going to do a little 8x10 study. I tried to tighten these corners, but I don't know if I was successful. They might tighten up a little bit once I add paint. Moon and dark clouds, Andrew says. Yeah, it's a moon and dark clouds. But you're in the UK, Dark Chronicle. What was Dark Cloud 1 called in the UK? If 2 was Dark Chronicle, did they just change the name like they do for, that one game? That I can't think of the name of? Sumbernor says, Mal is secretly goth. I knew it. I wasn't, like, the goth kid in high school, and I wasn't, like, the punk kid in high school, but I was slightly in between that. There was someone I knew who had Liberty spikes, where they have the mohawk, but, like, the individual spikes, and, he was a senior when I was a freshman, and I thought he was just the coolest person. Okay, D-Tran says it was just Dark Cloud. So Dark Cloud 1 was Dark Cloud in the UK, and Dark Cloud 2 was Dark Chronicle. Okay. Vagabond says, when are you going to get a mohawk? Honestly, one of my favorite updos is a faux hawk, but it's like a formal updo. So like all the hair is swept up to like mohawk, and then they're just kind of like big curls all the way back. And then you do like the face framing pieces, but you could probably guess I don't know what I'm doing with my hair ever. Like, technique-wise, I just don't know how to do anything. So, that is not something I'm capable of. But I think it would look really cool. I just can't do it. My knowledge is ponytail, down, or, ballet stage bun. Like, that's it. Not dark enough. Get some bumpets in there. And my hair is super fine. Like, the thickness of each hair is very thin. Like, I have a decent amount of hair on my head. It's just... there's no body to it. Like, my hair is stick straight. It doesn't do anything, ever. It doesn't hold a curl. We have a 14-month resub from Statman7. Thank you. Circle Now Squared says, I can kind of French braid, but I have to practice. Like, I've watched YouTube videos, and the same with makeup, and then I don't know what I'm doing. I think darker. But not by much. It's not quite ultramarine blue, so I'm gonna put a little bit of phthalo in it just to make it slightly more green, but just a tad. And see, here's the problem, is I'm going to a wedding in October, and I need to know how to do my hair. So I should start practicing now. Would I consider a hairpiece? Like the clip-in kind, like you put it in a ponytail and then clip in like the curls, like that would be the best solution. That would be the easiest for me. Okay. We have a 10-month resub from Hero Chaos Chow, who says, Hi Mal and Chat, what are we painting today? I am doing a study on a college drawing. I drew this in college. Now I'm going to paint it. And we're going to do a study, which means it's going to go a little quickly. We'll see what we can do because I'm going to have to tape off the horizon and it might be wet. So we will do the best we can. I need a stiffer brush for this. And I'm also going to mark, because I marked here for my half mark, I'm going to mark around the side here because I'm going to immediately do my gradient and lose that pencil mark. Do I mean like a value study? No, I mean more like a, I don't want to say practice because that's not quite what this is. It's somewhere between like a practice and a formal painting to do a study. Because like it will be a full complete painting. So I'm starting by putting some titanium white down. There's a chunk of something in that. Let's fix that. And then we will take up some of the blue. And I'm not going to go all the way to the top with it because what's going to happen is I already have white paint on this brush and I want to lay a darker color down there. Beautiful gradient. Very happy with that. Now let's do the sides. I need more white though. I was out of that. My worry is the second I let go to go do something over here is it's just going to fall. We have a 9-month resub from Action Cat 7. Thank you. I'm in my own light trying to paint this, and I'm trying to make it match the front. We have a 9-month resub from Miss Mace Windu. Hello. Oh, I let that sit just a second too long. Okay, cool. Now we can do the top, but I can't set it on the side, so I need to do it this way. There, so the top is done. We have the sides wrapping. And like this being lower than this doesn't bother me because the horizon's going to be above that. So that will not matter. And I have just a tad bit of blue left on my palette, so we're gonna put that on here. Oh shoot. Well, we gotta let this dry. So in the meantime, let me fix my sketchbook. Hi Sam Bradley, welcome in. We are painting this, but in paint, because this is chalk pastel, and this is not. And I just messed up my sketchbook. Oh no. Now the back is gone. How does this work? This sounded like Okage music for a second. I had to check and I was like, who's done a cover of that? Okay, I don't know how this worked, so I don't need the back cover of my sketchbook anymore. Solves that problem. That sketchbook is almost done. Sapphire Becca says Okage Crossing. Don't some of the characters in Animal Crossing speak in Pig Latin for fun sometimes? Or am I imagining that? There's the tie-in right there. So I need this to be dry, and it'll get there, but we're going to do the clouds, we have the moon, and then we can work on all of this groundwork, and then we'll finish off by doing the silhouettes of the sea oats. So when I did this drawing, this is actually a drawing 2 drawing, not a drawing 3 drawing. So I painted this in junior year of college in spring. And we had to do a time of day series. So that's what this was. This was my one of the time of day series. And let's think about cloud color. So there's a little bit of warm gray here on like this bottom part of some of these clouds. And there's some white highlights there, but they're mostly like a navy base for the cloud. So that's kind of a pain. I need to mix up a handful of colors for that. Yamadorgon says, so how old are usual college students, non-American asking here? So I went to college right after high school, so I started college at 18. 18, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22. So like 18 to 22, I finished college at 23 because I went 5 years. I did 4 years, which is typical, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And then I did a half semester to finish up from when I transferred because I was behind on credits when I transferred because I didn't have, not everything transferred, so I had to make up for that. So I did a half semester and then I did a half semester student teaching. So I had 5 years of college, but normally it's about 4. Fire Luigi says, what are the other time of day series drawings? I have them. They're in this cardboard thing. I showed them off on Friday, so you'll have to go check the VOD for that. But this is something, I think it would be fun to do all 3 of them in paint. But I'm starting with this one because this one was my favorite, so I definitely wanted to make sure I do that. So I'm not going to promise doing the other 2 in paint, but I do think it would be fun to have all 3 of them. Pokemon Princess says, one of the funniest parts of college is when your classmate suddenly mentions they're in their 40s and you're like, hold on. Yeah, there was a handful of people who were not straight out of high school in my different programs that I was in. A lot of my art ed classmates for art education were a bit older going back. Circle Now Squared says, and then there are sometimes older auditors who are just auditing classes. And I've thought about that because like I could go to NC State or Duke or UNC and audit some classes, and I've thought about that. One of them has a really strong Japanese program, and I thought about doing that for fun. But there's a lot going on right now, so that's not going to happen. We also had a quite large, oh, I am blanking. We had a lot of students who were in the military and done with the military and going back to school post-military. What's auditing? Auditing is taking a class, and you still have to pay for it, but it's not... It's kind of just taking it for fun, but you pay for it and go and do all the stuff. Like, you're not trying to get a degree. At least that's how it's worked from some of the programs I've seen. What am I doing? I'm making navy. So I'm just putting down all my primaries and some titanium white, and then I'm going to paint some clouds. MCL Blue says, you pay less, I assume. I don't believe so, because, like, technically you can kind of just audit a class or 2 here or there, and eventually you will meet the requirements for a degree. And I think if you do that, eventually they just give it to you. They're like, oh, well, you did meet these requirements, so you can have this Bachelor of Arts and whatever. It's just less formally, it's a less formal route than applying to a college and taking full credit loads. I don't know exactly how it works. I've just thought it might be fun to take college classes again for fun. Mostly interested in just taking art classes for fun. Just to get a little feedback from a professor, or like to just work on technique, or to learn, because like sometimes they'll teach you about techniques that you should know as an artist that you don't know if you are self-taught. Like I've had to learn how to varnish because I didn't know about varnishing in college. That was just something that got skipped when I took painting. Or like taking an oil painting class. So I'm trying to tone down a blue for my clouds, and this is what I've come up with, and it is way too green. So I'm trying to desaturate it with orange, but the orange is too yellow, so it's going green. So I need to add more red into my orange color. Not neutral enough yet. Tonally, this is right. Wait, here. Tonally, this blue is right. It looks probably black, but it's too dark. So now that we have that, I can lighten that up. One of the other things about taking classes through someone else is learning like how they do things. So like my painting professor in college taught me how to mix colors, and like it's the same idea, right? It's just the way he kept his palette is so different than how I keep mine now, having painted as often as I do now. Versus in college when I was like, this is my first painting ever. Does that look blue to you now, or is that black? It's still too dark. It's too green, I think. I think I need to add some ultramarine because my primary cyan is quite green. Where did I put ultramarine? Snowfox says, it's fascinating how different people do the same thing in art. Like with crochet, you think patterns would read the same, but everyone has their own style. I bet that's interesting, like trying to read patterns for that. Like sewing, patterns are pretty standardized with like the marks and notation. How do I feel about that? Still too green. This is reading as blue. Okay, we got that. I don't quite have all the colors I need for this. I don't have my bright colors, but that's fine. Oh, that was a while ago. Chaz, I just saw your message. If you're still here, I'll get back to that when I'm done. Okay, so these clouds, I really need to have this other color because I'm gonna regret it otherwise. Let's use a old brush and just kind of mix this. Oh, I know you aren't, Chaz. Sophie G says, love the nail polish color. Thank you. This is Rolling with My Chromies by Bluebird. And it's getting all the glare of my lights. There is no silver in this. It's blue, and it has, like, that's the blue. You can kind of see it this way if I bend it back. And it has a gold, purpley, pink shimmer on it. Okay, now I have all the colors I need. Okay, so what we're doing is I'm going to kind of fill in this dark, because this is just supposed to be like small clouds at the horizon. I need a different brush for that. Actually, let's fill in this cloud first. Where are we at for our 5-inch line? Okay, so that's halfway. Here. That is a lot greener than I thought it was. Okay. Nope. Nope. Look how green that is. That looks like the ocean color. That would be perfect for that. Shoot. Okay, let's fix that. I just got paint on my face, I felt it. Okay. Fun. I got it on the shirt too. Oh well. This was from Costco. I'm not that sad. We have a 10-month resub from Evar. Thank you. All right, so I did that, and this will make more sense as I start to fill these clouds in, because we're going to work on just kind of combining these clouds into other clouds. So this is this cloud, and then I got another one right here. And then the moon will sit there, but there's another cloud over here. Now I can add highlights to this. So I'm taking the orange I mixed up to tone this down. And I don't want much on this paintbrush, but I'm going to build in a little bit in here. Kind of on the bottom right of all of these clouds. Hello, mermaid. Hi from Belgium, they say. Welcome. We are redoing this college drawing I did, but in acrylic paint. Now I'm taking titanium white and giving these all little highlights. And because this is a little bit of a study, I'm trying to be a bit more loose painterly with it than I would be. A little less exact. It's a little darker than the drawing, because that's way more like light gray, but that's fine. Okay, time to paint this moon. How do I want to do this? Probably draw it first. That feels pretty good size-wise. I should do this with a paintbrush and not a marker, because I'm trying to keep things loose, and if I do it with a marker, it'll be too exact. And we're trying to not be so much of a perfectionist this time. And I did have 2 coffees today, so I'm not very steady with my hand. That was probably not the smartest choice I've made today. Oh yeah, definitely. Aiden says, I'm only limiting to myself to 1 coffee per day. I mean, normally that's how I am. But, someone was like, I'm going to a coffee shop. And I was like, I'd love to get out of the house a little bit because I've been in the house all weekend. Which is why the stream was a little late. Sorry. My fault. Was it Kepi? Kepi wanted caffeine. Radio just who we blaming? Me. That was my choice. I only socially drink extra coffee. It's not my fault. Listen, they had Thai coffee when it was mixed with sweetened condensed coconut milk. It was very good. I couldn't turn that down. Fossick says Thai coffee. I mean, that's what it said on the menu board. It was a special they had today. Okay, now I need to mix up this color. And I do need to put a piece of tape down, but we're gonna work on mixing that color first. Crescelium says, I limit myself to 1 cup mostly because coffee tends to mess with my stomach. I suspect I will struggle to sleep tonight because I had 2. What do I typically put in my coffee? When I make coffee at home for myself, like for stream, on a normal day, I use the Keurig K-Cups, and it's a dark roast. It's the Kirkland one, whatever Kirkland is, the Kirkland dark roast. And I put 2 teaspoons of sugar and like a tiny splash of cream, just enough to turn it slightly lighter. 1/4 of a teaspoon. Yes, we did measure to figure that out. So I have this blue, which I was using for the clouds, but that ocean is a lot more saturated, so I need to mix up a new color. I was hoping to take this color and make it that color, but that's not happening. Pipe Power says, it wasn't your fault, it was coffee's fault for being delicious. I do love coffee. And I had a Rainbow Boss coffee today, which is like extra caffeine. So really this is just all my fault. I've made 2 poor decisions today. Only 1 would have been fine, but I made 2, so now it's extra bad. Like, this is good, but this is really saturated. So we need to desaturate it. And it's blue-green, so we need a warm reddish-orange. Penguin Frog says, I genuinely love how fast everyone here is ready to blame everyone and everything except you, making your own decisions. I am an adult. Listen, sometimes you make decisions for your mental well-being in some ways, and it hurts in other ways. And going to get coffee was for mental well-being. But there will be consequences. You just have to accept that. And know that that's what you're doing. And I did. Oh, I know what else happened today. There was a bike store that was going out of business and put all of their stuff on an auction site. And I bid on stuff and I won. I was very happy about that. Did I win the last thing? One thing didn't... Ooh, I did win the last thing. That one wasn't for me. That one's for Rhonda. Rhonda was like, can you bid on this for me? I wasn't approved to bid because there was a timing system about how fast you had to apply to bid. And she didn't do that in time for the auction. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. What did I get? I got 3 jerseys. Biking jerseys. One of them is merino wool, which is the one I wanted the most out of everything, because I really love merino wool, everything. I want more things, but they are expensive. And this jersey retails for over $100 and I got it for 20. I was very excited. So that was the thing I wanted the most. The thing I wanted second most was a pair of clipless biking shoes. So if you know about cycling, these are the pedals that your shoes snap into. I bought a pair of those shoes for $17 and they retail for $120. So that was really cool. Very proud of that purchase. Do I wear Darn Tough socks? I have a pair of Darn Tough socks. I don't like them because I like very thin socks and they are not thin. So yeah, I got 2 other jerseys. So I got 3 jerseys total. I got the shoes. Rhonda wanted a piece of artwork that the store had up that they had for sale. How do I feel about this color? I need more blue and it needs to be lighter. It was a 2-pack of UV leg warmers. So they're meant for the summer, so they're like moisture wicking for the heat and they're white in color, so they are not as hot, but they're UV so you don't get burns. So I got those. What else did I get? What am I trying to do? Phthalo blue, that's what I want. So yeah, I'm very happy with my purchases, and Rhonda was like, aren't auctions fun? She's like, don't you want to do more? Because that's a lot of what she does. She will do this for like vintage furniture. I was like, yeah, this was very fun. I bid on a bike, but I didn't get the bike, which was fine because it went for a pretty decent amount. Oh no. Where is my painter's tape? Oh, I know where the painter's tape is. It's downstairs. Cool. Do I have backup? I know I have a backup. It is a different type. I just have to find it. There it is. Backup painter's tape. I think that's level. MCL Blue says, also you have a bike. I do, but it was a different type of bike. My bike is a road bike, and this was a hybrid, which means you can use it on more surfaces than a road. Alright, this goes down probably about here, and then we have the dark area here, and then the rest of this is sand. Alright, let's paint this. Fire Luigi says, do you know if bike stores have a high top version of the shoe you bought? Most bike shoes are low top, like very, very low top. But yes, like mountain bike clipless shoes tend to be a little bit more high top-esque. So I'm putting down a light color first because it's a little bit lighter towards that top of the horizon line. And then we will go into more of this for the ocean. And I'm painting pretty close to this tape with this color, which is fine because that highlight I painted first for the horizon is only in some areas. Should have put down more phthalo blue. So there's our ocean. Now I need to bring in some highlights, and I want a flat brush for that. And then right along the edge of this, it gets lighter, and then we have the ocean spray, which is going to be hard to do when I don't have the rest of this. But I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll take off the tape. And there's something about the softness of the drawing that I really like that the painting doesn't have because I used the tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soften that up. Yeah, that helped. That really stick straight line from the tape is fine, but I think it took away from the painterly marks I'm making. I didn't like that. This is much better. Are we painting a new background for Jared? That would be something. I've only done one mural. I didn't do it entirely on my own. I helped someone who did murals for a living work with elementary school students to do a mural. So I painted some on a mural. They did most of the work. The kids did some of the work too. I just did a few things and helped the kids. Herded those cats, yep. All right, now I need to figure out this. And what this is this is dark sand. And like there's a line of foam. I'm probably gonna make it look a little bit more natural than the drawing is because the drawing doesn't look super natural to me anymore. I'm also debating if I want to go with, there's a lot of brown in this, and I'm thinking I might want to do that. We'll pull some burnt umber out. Where do I want to put that? Where is that on this? 4 and 1/16. Yeah. My palette is also all over the place. You can see like I'm mixing multiple colors with my brush. This is a looser painting. We're doing this painterly. I don't know if this will be alla prima, which is all at once, where you finish an entire painting in one sitting. We're getting there. Don't know if I'll hit it. We'll see where I get. So I've mixed up a brown. I took burnt umber with a little bit of the phthalo, and it's very dark. I don't think I want it to be this dark. And if I add white to it, it gets a little bit of a gray tone. That's not that far off, but I still think it's too dark for everything else. So this is going to be a little bit of back and forth to try and get the difference between the sand and the ocean here. First, I'm going to have to paint the line that I want. And then I'm going to have to go back in and do the highlights on the ocean with the water, where it's white right here with the ocean spray. And then I'm going to have to go back into the sand and fix that line, and then do the foam line, and then the dark line down here I'll probably have to fix up, and then I'll move into the dry sand. Yamadorgon says, I do like the muted colors of the original, but the new one is turning out beautiful with the more saturated colors. I tend to go more saturated when I paint. That's just habit. I don't always intend to do that, but I do. The original drawing when I drew it in college might have been more saturated. This has a spray fixative, which tends to make things darker and a little bit more muted. It's also been sitting pressed up against something since I drew it. And over the years, just like that little bit of movement has probably blurred everything a little bit. So that's probably part of this. This feels better. Okay. I also think I might change up a little bit because that really dark area, this part, you can't see when I'm using a dark thing. This part is ocean, like that is water, so it should be blue. So I think I'm gonna make this more blue, and then the color I mixed up for this, I think I might use in here a little bit, but also here. So we're gonna kind of go back and forth on this. So we're gonna, like, this is me redoing this, but this is also me changing how I do it and how I think about it. So if my line is here and here for this, Yama Dragon says, are you going to finish this today? We're going to see how far I get. If I do it all at once, it's called alla prima, and I'm not great about painting that way. So we'll just see, I'll keep painting and we'll see where I'm at. That was just Carlos. Did everyone see Carlos's tweet of him playing the saxophone? That was cute. I really loved that. I need some more burnt umber. Now I'm just trying to blend between this dark phthalo blue and that brownish color. That's brown. It's turning a little green because there's so much yellow in it, but that's okay. Okay, we have that base layer down. And what I should do, what the smart thing to do would be to mix this color, which is a light gray violet, and then paint that. That would be the smart thing to do. And then go back to working on the waves and then bringing in the detail on that sand. But I should do that first. And it looks very dark on camera from what I can tell, but this is blue, and then it fades into a green, and then it fades into a brown. Okay, we have that. It's a little more purple than I want. Better? Better. And glazing liquid. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm just going to try and blend the wet sand color into the dry sand color so that it's easier later. I'm not going to paint everything that's white on canvas yet, but some of it. Because I want this line to be a little bit softer. Pretty happy with that. And because I have just a little bit of this left, I'm going to try and fill in what I can, even though I have some dried chunks of paint coming off the palette and sitting on the canvas. Don't do that. Getting there. And I do think it's time to switch back to Ocean Step. So I'm switching back to titanium white and a little brush, and I'm going to hopefully not mess this up. And I'm just going to scrub right along this line. Do you see that? Oh, that's turning out nice. Very happy with that. I do think I need a thinner brush for the rest of this, for this line here. Tiny brush. There just needs to be a little definition between this. So I'm just putting a tiny line in some of these areas. And then I'm going to go back in with the darker blue and clear up a little bit of this. And I think this brush is too tiny for this. I need a larger brush. because I scrubbed all of this in, it got all over this part of the painting, which is what I had planned for. I just have to go clean it up. There. All cleaned up. Now we have to do the foam line, which, to be fair, I'm not looking forward to bring in this white line, which is the wave that's already come through. Not looking forward to that, to be honest. So my thought is taking this, this looks way more natural than what I had done in college. Like, that looks way better. Cool. And then we'll just add another little layer for brighter highlights. MCL Blue. I'm not looking forward to this. Oh, I guess I'm good at this. You can't let the painting know you're scared of it. You can't show fear. Need small brush. We're doing pretty good on time. I'm quite happy with the timing on this. Where I'm at this point in time, it's been like around an hour and a half of painting time. Vegamon says, I didn't want to finish in one stream, you said. I didn't think I could. That's not normally how I work. The problem is right now is I want to finish this part and I'm all out of that color. So I need to remake it. Where can I work on that on this palette? There. Now I have a spot. Okay. Now I need all new color because I'm out. Let's see, cyan. Mr. Raichu Dude says, oh, I like the sound of that spray bottle. These are great. This is Delta Artist spray bottle. You can just like pump it a handful of times and then it just keeps going. It kind of charges it up. It's really nice. So my plan is to mix this color up, fill all of this with that, and then start to bring in some of the blues and violets like I had on the drawing. I do need some phthalo and ultramarine though. It's Keppo! Okay, well I've totally destroyed this shirt now with paint. Let's at least try and get this bit off that I just got. I have dots like up here on my shoulder, which is a shame because this was like a 3-pack from Costco and this one was my favorite color. I don't know the last time I ruined a shirt. It was whenever I had my hair super long and I dipped it in the paint and then got it on my back. That was the last time I ruined a shirt. Hi, are we here to cause trouble? We are. Do we need scoop? What do we need? He's gonna drag in the PS4 and sit on it. He might. What do we need? Is it lap time? Because lap time is not really conducive to painting time, Keppo. Oh, it's kind of bath time. Whoa, I'm so close to being done with this, or at least having most of this done. Let's check something. Okay, we're gonna have to go give Keppo Scoop. Hey, you want Scoop? Sweetheart, do you want Scoop? Keppy, are you hungry? What do we want? Because I don't want to start on this and then have to sit it down and it dry out while I go get you Scoop. It's really hard to judge, because if I go give him Scoop and that's not what he wants, he's just going to come back in here and cause trouble. So I suppose I will mix up this color. So I'm trying to mix up this violet. Or at least something close. This is a really pretty color. This isn't what I want, but this is a really pretty color. Look at that. You can't quite see it. It's like a dark periwinkle. That's what I would call this. In fact, I'm gonna put some of that off to the side for the dark color I need for the sand, because I like it that much. Snow Fox. This isn't what I want, but it's a really pretty color. Me, looking at my yarn. I don't have this tube of paint. It's really pretty. I don't need it. I can probably make it. But I could just buy it. Proceeds to not use it because it's too pretty. One day I'll use the glitter paints I bought. One day. Not today. Once I get the sand done, maybe we'll pull the sketchbook out and show those off. Too blue. And that is quite red. And of course I'm out of titanium white. Katsuki Randy says, not Mal indirectly calling me out for all my stationery that's, quote, too pretty to use. Listen, I suffer from that too. Sakura Celica, me and my nail polish. That was kind of one of the reasons I never used big canvas until now. It just, nothing felt right to put on it. This is right. This is where I want this to be. It's just too dark. So I'm going to put some of it over there, and I'm going to lighten it up with more white. I think I like how warm this is, and this is a bit cooler. So we're going to add just a tiny bit of red to it. it's too dark. And that's too light, but that's okay because I think it's too desaturated. I need to add some color back in. Yep, that's it. Hooray! We can go back to painting this now. So I'm going to start by making the transition from the dark sand to the light sand what I want it to be, like so. And then I'm just going to fill all this in. And this will all end up the super dark color for the sea oats, but if I get a layer down, that's better because then I have less chance of the canvas showing through. Okay, now we can put these fun lines in there. So there's some blue lines. I'm just going to start by kind of brushing them in. And trying not to get paint on everything. And we're going to put a little bit of red as well. And then I'm going to go back to the original and then just kind of clean up a little bit of this because I don't like every part of it. Like right here. This part can get softened. Much better. I know this doesn't look straight, but there's just a wrinkle in the canvas because of it needing to get stretched a little bit yet. Vagabond says, how long do you think this piece took you back in college? Multiple days. We had 3-hour art studios, or were they 90-minute art studios? I think they were 3-hour studios. Maybe they were 2-hour. They were longer than 90 minutes. And so it took multiple days to do the drawing. Renee says, well, you're an expert now. And I'm thinking I want this to dry before I do the sea oats, because I want to make sure I get the angles right. And everything is still very wet. And we've been painting for 2 hours. So that is my thought there, is to let this dry until Friday. And I don't need any of these colors. I say now, and I will probably regret that. But I don't think they will keep till Friday, so we're gonna put them all on paint sheet. Cool. Renee says, stretch and scoop. Yeah, it's a good time to stop. Kepler will need attention. And I'm tired because I was up for breakfast stream. And I streamed last night. So I think it is a good time for me to be done for today. So let's start out by doing this. Thank you to my Patreon supporters on patreon.com/MalMakes. I appreciate your support. It lets me continue to paint, to do fun things like recreate this college drawing I did. I should probably hold this square to the canvas. There. Don't fall. It's crooked. There. I'm quite happy with this. Like, I know it's a painting, and I know it's been a very long time, but it's quite fun to redo that. So we will continue this on Friday, working on putting all of the sea oats in to finish that off. I really liked some of these lines that I got with chalk, which is a lot easier to do with chalk than it is with a paintbrush. So that is something we will try to do our best on Friday. And I do like the changes I've made, because this white line always bothered me then, but that's what I saw visually, so that's what I drew, and I'm not happy with it. And now I am happy with it. All right, thanks everyone for being here. Tomorrow you can check out Super Metroid on Steven's channel at 1 p.m. Thursday breakfast stream will be normal, as Steven is just about home now, and Friday will be Zelda. Friday morning I'll be painting too. I might change the time because 10 was a little early. I might push it to 11. I think that's all the things. All right, thanks everyone. Hope you have a good afternoon, and I will see you Thursday morning for breakfast stream.